This year, preseason is actually important for the Lakers, and how they perform could impact how the team moves forward. Now, of course, it is just preseason. We can't get too much out of it. It's completely different from regular season basketball. Guys aren't playing as hard, they're not playing as long. Rotations are quite different from what we actually see in the regular season. So we can't just watch preseason and say, this is how the regular season will go. But there are certain things, certain plays, certain styles, certain points in the game that are good indicators of how the team will perform in the regular season. For the Lakers, probably the biggest thing to look out for is Russell Westbrook's play. How will he fit in Darvin Ham's system? Is he going to do the things that are expected of him, like play defense, move the ball, be in the right spots? Has his shot improved? There have been reports about him tweaking his form. Will he come off the bench? Will he play at all? Honestly, at this point, I think we all know what kind of player Westbrook is. He's been the same guy for the past 14 seasons. We tried to convince ourselves that he could change last season, and it blew up in our faces. I don't think a new coach is going to magically turn him into a different player. I would love to be wrong, but even if he is able to change his ways and do all the right things, that would essentially make him a role player. That's not going to be enough to make the Lakers a contender. But if he can show that he's still a valuable player in the league, in addition to his expiring contract, maybe that would make it easier to trade him. So that's something we have to pay attention to. Of course, this team goes how LeBron and AD go. So we have to see how they perform. I doubt they'll have any problem fitting into Darvin Ham's system. They can fit into any system. And if Darvin Ham is a smart coach, which I believe he is, he'll center his offense around those two. But what we really have to pay attention to is their health. Do they look good out there? How are they moving? How are their minutes being managed? Are they playing positions that would benefit them long term? Is AD playing more 4 or 5? Is LeBron defending the other player's best wing? Is he forced to chase around the other team's best players? We also have to see how the team as a whole is performing. How's the offense designed? What does their defensive scheme look like? Are they going to play big? How is their spacing? How is Darvin Ham going to implement all those guards? You got Dennis Schroeder, Lonnie Walker IV, Russell Westbrook, Kendrick Nunn, Patrick Beverley. Who starts? Who comes off the bench? Who doesn't play at all? What is the Lakers' best lineup? Obviously, that's not going to be figured out just in preseason, but we can start to see how this all shapes out. And finally, we have to look at the young guys and the guys who don't have guaranteed contracts. Preseason is the time for them to show what they got, to show that they belong in the league. So who actually makes the team? Who can possibly crack the rotation? Who gets cut? Who gets sent to the South Bay Lakers? We got to pay attention to guys like Jay Huff, Dwayne Bacon, Matt Ryan. Can these guys contribute to the team right now? And of course, we got the young guys who are unlikely to make the rotation, but we can see their potential, especially now when they're facing real NBA players and not just summer league players. So these are all things that we need to look out for in preseason. Last year, the Lakers didn't win a single preseason game. And a lot of people just brushed it aside because it was just preseason. But from those games, we could clearly see that there were flaws in the team. and those flaws extended into the regular season, which led to one of the worst and most disappointing seasons in Lakers history. The last time the Lakers went winless in preseason, they fired their head coach, Mike Brown, a few games into the regular season. So while preseason games don't actually count, if the team is performing that poorly, you start to see patterns, and changes must be made. If the Lakers go winless, or even just perform poorly enough, I expect the front office to make changes. They have to, because clearly the team has a lot of the same flaws that it did last season. I doubt that they would fire Darvin Ham, considering they just hired him, but I expect other changes to be made. I think they would most likely go forward with the Russell Westbrook trade that they were actually strongly considering before training camp. But it all depends on how they do to start up the season. So, if preseason wasn't must-watch TV for you before, it should be now.